engineer guy, a guy that does both, or all the above?
Well, it's definitely concerning when you watch a bunch of clips where either scramble lanes appear or you're trying to play some sort of pattern match coverage, right, where you don't have a whole bunch of guys with eyes on the quarterback, and typically that leads to a lot of scramble yards, and so that's extremely concerning when you start developing a game plan for how you're gonna rush the quarterback, and then also how you're gonna play coverage to try to deny routes. But in doing that, you got to have some vision on the quarterback if he's able to escape.
What did you think of the defensive performance in Arizona?
Oh, it's early in the season, right? There's going to be some good and bad. Obviously, I wasn't too happy about the way we started, but was quite pleased with the way we picked it up after that.
Have you given Buki a hard time about not finishing off that return for a touchdown?
Yeah, I guess he wasn't quite as confident in his speed as he led us to believe.
You got your hands on the football a few times too, though. I mean, how important is it in a game like this to be able to bring change like that?
Yeah, I think probably going to any defensive meeting across the country, any school, and probably the two things they're preaching are third downs and takeaways, right? And depending on which place you're at, probably it's which one is emphasized more. But yeah, anytime you can get off the field on third down and you take the ball away, create extra opportunities for your offense. Tips and overthrows all the time, usually a good thing for the defense.
That game against Florida State, they had a lot of success in the second half when they went a little bit more up tempo. Is that something you guys are preparing for a bit to see from them?
Oh, I think probably every offense in the country has the ability to go tempo, when they want to, just as a change up. I have no doubt in my mind if people scout us on film, right, they would think that probably tempo maybe creates some opportunities to, I don't want to say simplify the defense, right, but usually offensive people think the higher tempo you go, the less intricate stuff they can signal in and get communicated, and so I have no doubt we'll see some tempo. Yep.
Is it hard to scout a guy like John Emery when he hasn't played in almost 2 years, but he's coming back for Saturday?
Oh, how highly rated recruit he was. There's plenty of film on him. He's got over 100 carries in his career, and so I think all of our guys know they got quite the tackling challenge there.
A guy like Jane Daniels too. He's not an athlete playing quarterback. He's a quarterback that has some athleticism. Does that make him an even tougher thing to figure out when you've got a guy that can pass it as well as he does?
Oh yeah, he's got, like I said, he got 3-year starter at Arizona State. Obviously got a couple games here. I mean, there's plenty of evidence on tape to know that he can make all the throws and he can pick apart secondaries. And so, yeah, combine that with the ability to make explosive plays with his leg, and it's not exactly been a very restful week for us on the defensive staff.
You mentioned the tackling. Obviously, there was a few missed tackles there on their quarterback at Arizona. Is it as simple as just telling you guys to finish a play? Did you see anything that they were maybe doing wrong in those tackles?
Oh, I think anytime you got really good athletes with the ball in their hands and they're got a lot of space to maneuver, and you're scrambling around that deep on some of those plays, that's going to happen every now and then. I was happy to see our relentless pursuit to stay after them.
How do you keep a team focused on the team in front of them and not maybe the helmet sticker out there?
Oh, I think some of that stuff is probably more for articles and generated by you guys. I think when when you're a competitor and you go in on film and you start just watching, all right, these are the guys we got to cover, these are the schemes they run, these are what we're trying to do to, give them trouble. I think most guys, you just lock into the task at hand and you don't really get too caught up in, the logo or the uniform, what colors you're playing.
All right, y'all doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shoot, yeah, glad to get a Wednesday practice in. So.
So 2 games, Coach. You guys are obviously running the football with some success now. What do you kind of attribute that to?
Obviously experience, number one. It was kind of a big thing having those guys back, Dylan and Woody, and I kind of placed it on them, just saying, hey, we got to take our game to another level, and so. They've done an unbelievable job and been successful so far of taking that, and everybody else in the room has been doing a good job. And we kind of talk about the standards up here, and it never drops. And so in practice and in games, and if you can do it in practice, you can do it in games. So I've been very, very pleased so far.
From what you can tell, how many of these rushing attempts are Will checking to a run at the line?
So it depends on the kind of the box and that type of stuff. And so, like I told him, I was like, like, if you want the rock more, whenever you get an opportunity to do it, you got to take advantage of it. And so far, Will's been doing a great job of seeing the box and seeing opportunities to run the ball, and we've been able to do some really, really good things.
Nick Jones was one of those guys that got one of the Player of the Week from Leach. I saw on social media. I guess it looked like he was opening up with him and LaQuista Sharp. They were opening up some of those holes for the running backs. What's it been like to have a guy like Nick who just quietly kind of took over that left guard role?
Yeah, Nick's been awesome. I'm like, I can't tell you enough about the offensive line so far. I think they've been doing a great job. Obviously with Q and Nick Jones and Cam and Dollar Bill. So they've been doing a good job of creating some holes and some gaps, and I think it's been working together as a party. And so, I tell those running backs, just like the quarterback, hey, you got to reward those guys. Whenever they're busting their tail and doing a great job, reward them and go up and slap them on the butt and tell them, hey, let's do it again.
How did that halfback lead get in the playbook there on the first drive?
I think, kind of when we started talking, hey, let's try to put some good ball players in the ball game and give it to them. And, big thing that we kind of talk about is, hey, take care of your brother. And so whichever one has the rock, the other one's got to do a great job of blocking. So offensive line-wise, obviously, did a great job. And then the back leading through the hole was a success as well.
The first couple of years, fairly or not, Jaquavius had the reputation of the open field guy. Dylan Johnson was your red zone guy. But now here's Jaquavius with 3 red zone touchdowns, and Dylan's making big plays in the open field. Are they just rounding out their games?
Yeah, I think they are. I'm like, going back and kind of reevaluating and sitting down with them during the offseason, that was kind of the big thing on, okay, hey, this is what you're good at, and now this is the deficiencies here, and this is what we need to work on. And so, like I said, my hat goes off to both of them of taking the criticism and being able to work and get better.
What has Jaquavius done that he's reading the blocking and reading the defense so well to score in the red zone?
Yeah, once again, a number of reps is that, and then also in practice. I mean, he goes extremely, extremely hard, and my big thing is, okay, let's get past this first level. Now, how can we be elite in the second level? And the only way that we can do that is practice and watching film. And so both those guys have done a great job of going in and studying the little things that they need to do to be successful.
Seems had a good camp, and it was good to get him some reps, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. It's been good to see Sim, and obviously on the sideline, he does an unbelievable job of staying in the game, and I tell him, hey, you're a play away from being a starter. So Sim's been great, and it's been exciting to see his progression.
Have the backs given the quarterbacks any grief that by taking sacks it cost them another 100-yard game because they would have had 2 this season already?
Not too much. I said, hey, leave Will alone because hey, if he starts getting mad at you, then you won't get the ball. So hey, just pat him on the butt, tell him, hey, we'll get it next play next time, and we'll be able to go from there off of it.
I've seen some read option plays. Is it fun to practice those and for the guys to get some work with that?
Yeah, obviously, of course, we got to mess around with Will and tell him not to keep the ball and pitch it to us. But no, it's good. It's good, and the big thing is just trying to put some stress on the defense just a little bit and get our athletic guys out in space and watch them work. So it's been good running some of that option stuff.
Brian Kelly compared this offense to a triple option in terms of it just being unique. What would it be like running the triple option?
Yeah, oh shoot, man, I would love it. I'm like having 3 backs back there and letting those guys get a dose of the triple option just a little bit. That would be fun. I'm like, it's so much responsibility football that goes on, and so that would be awesome to see.
Did you ever work or play in a wishbone?
Yeah, I tried to talk Coach Leach into it, but he wasn't going for it yet. So
A little excitement last week with Bull Hargrove. How's he been since all that last week?
Bull's been fantastic. We had a chance to sit down, myself and Coach Leach, and obviously talk to his mom and his family, and just get him back on board and that type of stuff. And so Bull's been fine, and everything's going straight forward, and I'm excited to watch him in the future.
Is he a guy you envision being able to get some snaps this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, obviously that running back position is a physical, tough position, and guys get dinged up from here to there. And so the big thing, especially with those young guys, is making sure they stay locked in and that type of stuff. And so, like I've said before, Bull's talented. He's got all the traits that you want in a running back, and now it's being able to do it on a consistent basis.